Now that fall season is over, we wanted to talk about how you can structure your off season and how to come up with a plan and goals. Yeah, we wanted to take the time to talk about how to come up with goals that are actually relevant to helping you step your game up and what you can do to structure your off season to get the most out of it.
So to be able to know where we want to go, we first have to evaluate where we were, right? So the first step, the first thing we want to do is to have, or just be very honest with your reflection of your fall season. If you didn't set goals, we're going to talk about how to do that. But if you did set goals, see if you achieved them. And even if you didn't set goals, you know what you liked and what you didn't like from your performances and your outings and your practices and all of that. So just be very honest in how you evaluate yourself and what you liked, what you didn't like, and what you want to improve on.
Yeah, and it's really important to be honest. And hopefully you have it written in your journal so you have an actual account of what happened and you're not relying strictly on memory, because it's just not going to be accurate that way. Hopefully you did that, and then you can start there, and then you can look at stats from Game Changer to see how you did, right? So you have all of these tools to really come up with a solid plan of where you want to improve.
And make sure when you're looking, I know sometimes you can get a little, I don't even know what the word is for looking at stats, but hyper-focused, I guess. Yeah, obsessive. I'm like, how do you put this on stats, but only maybe specific stats? Like, again, we've talked a lot about the flashy, like, strikeout numbers and things like that. Make sure you're just looking at all of it in, like, the big picture. And, you know, if you know that just off the top of your head, or, you know, I have a lot of walks, like, that can be something that, okay, that's something I want to improve on, or more first pitch strikes or locations, or I feel really wild and out of control in a game, or even if your mental game is off, like, again, like, all these things can be worked on, especially now in the off season.
So once you have all of that, now you can really come up with some SMART goals. And we are both really huge fans of SMART goals, the acronym: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. We did another video about that, which you can watch here. We go into a lot of detail about how to structure that, but make sure they're specific, figure out a way to put numbers to them, because that's going to give you an unbiased view of whether or not you actually met your goals or not. And right, obviously it has to be achievable. Nobody is going to throw 100% strikes, or you're not going to hit your spots 100% of the time. It's just, that's not a thing. You're not a robot. Obviously we want your goals to be relevant. Why do you need to have a second changeup if you already have a really good changeup? That's not relevant to you getting better. And then time-based, right? We want to make sure that we have a date set that we are going to test to make sure to see if you actually achieve these goals.
And I've been doing a lot of goal setting work with my pitchers. Their goals are, I want to get stronger. I want to hit locations better. And it's like, okay, well, what's stronger to you? Like, what does that even mean?
I've been doing this too. One of my kids just put down changeup. Like, you have a changeup. What are we going to do with it?
Yeah, like, what are we doing? You know, I want to hit my spots better. I want to, you know, all these things. And a lot of the girls are saying a lot of the same things, but I'm like, okay, well, you guys all, in my head, like, from seeing all the pictures, I'm like, you guys all struggle with different things. So your goals are going to look very different, but you're all writing down the same thing. So this is, you know, get as specific as possible so that, you know, there's no, like, without a doubt on that end date that you choose, there's no doubt that you either did it, reach your goal, or you did it. There's no, oh, I kind of reached it. It's yes or no. Like, that's how specific you got to be. What I say for some of my pitchers for the achievable part, like, yes, you want it to be achievable, but you don't want it to be, like, so easy that it's not even a challenge, where it's like naturally you would just reach that. Like, it needs to be a challenge. You just don't want it to be like, okay, if you're consistently hitting 1 out of 10 spots right now, it's not very achievable or realistic to be able to hit 9 out of 10 in a couple weeks or whatever, right? Maybe, but that's not, you know, the most achievable thing. Or if you're throwing 60 right now, you're not going to be hitting 70. Like, but don't, you know, sell yourself short, and just, like, you don't want to set a goal where you 100% know you're going to hit it. Like, you need to question yourself. Am I going to be able to hit this? Like, right above that line, that's how you know it's a good goal, because you have to push yourself and work towards it.
At the end of the day, like, we want improvement. So it's like these numbers, if you don't hit your goal, like if your goal is to be able to hit your spots 80% of the time, and let's say the day you test, you do 3 sets of 10 and you're like 6, 7, 7, but before you were at 5, 6, 5. Like, no, you didn't meet your goal, but there's marked improvement, right? There's a solid, like, 15% improvement hitting your spots, which is really going to translate over well in games. So, like, that's the other reason you don't want it to be too low, because, like, okay, well, if I'm averaging 55% spots, my goal is 60. like, okay, that's really not a challenge, but also I'm not going to see a huge difference in my game time performances with just that small, like that low of an increase, like both in like overall percentage, but also in just like how small of a jump that was.
So when we set these goals, right, you don't just want to, so I do a lot of like almost baseline testing with my pitchers, just so, again, they have a number, like from the start. Okay, from right now, when we're setting our goal, you're hitting 5 out of 10 spots. And if your goal is to hit 8 out of 10 spots by this date, right, you're not just going to retest again a month from now on that end date. You're going to keep practicing during that month to reach your goal. It's not just, okay, I set this goal, now I'm never going to work on it. Right. So I have my pitchers, like, let's just say again, their goal is the locations. I'm like, okay, well, we're going to work on locations and we're going to test it. Like at the end, we're going to see how many out of 10 you're hitting. So you can track your progress and write it down. Even if it sucked that day, even if you're embarrassed of the number, you write it down. Like I had one of my pitchers, I don't know if she watches these or not, but we just started doing locations like with heights. So I'm like, okay, well, you hit the inside spot, but it wasn't the right height. I'm not counting it. And so her number, and I knew she wasn't gonna be happy with it. Her number was low. And the next lesson, I was like, well, where's that paper? She ripped it out. I'm like, no. I'm like, no, you need that paper in there because you're going to be able to see the progress. I knew you weren't going to like the number, but that's the point. Like, you need to know where you're at. You can't like deny where you're at. And I'm like, we just started working on, specifically with the heights. And I'm like, I'm a hard grader. I'm not going to give it to you just because I feel bad. Yeah. The next lesson, I was like, don't rip any pages out of your journal.
If you're going to rip the really, really bad ones out, you better rip the really, really good ones out too, because that's fair.
Yes. Gotta even it out if you're gonna do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, the journal, I'm like, it's just for you. Like, you're not having to post this on social media or Instagram and show the whole world, like, dang, I only hit this many spots today. It's for you. Yeah. Like, it's your journey, your journal.
You have to go through those challenges to learn how to overcome them, because that's where you see the improvement. So yes. you have to have those days.
Yes. I'm like, they're necessary. Where I was going with that, or kind of going back to what I was talking about, you're testing yourself throughout that month or however long that goal is set for, tracking your numbers. So then you can literally see your progress.
Testing it, you're just tracking it.
Yes. Yeah, that probably wasn't the greatest word. Yeah, tracking.
You write it down the same, right? Mm-hmm. But you're not testing the goal, you're just tracking your progress. Mm-hmm. So, but you write it down the same. And like kind of with that, like, let's say it's 4 days before your test date, and you're tracking all these, and you have like great days, like you're going for 80%, you're like 80%, 70%, 80% one day, and like 70, 80, like whatever. And then on your test day, you're at 60. Sometimes we have off days, maybe you're mental, right? Different things can happen, but you can literally track and see like, oh wait, but like I was there, like I'm right there. And so even if you didn't test well, you're still able to see the trend of you getting close to that, if not getting it. Kind
of bringing us into our next topic is you have to plan your bullpens and, structure your workouts accordingly to meet that goal, right? Like every time that we pitch, we want to have a plan. We want to know, like, practice with intent and a purpose, especially if we have a goal that's set. Again, we're not just setting in like, okay, a month from now, I guess I'll see if I hit it. No.
And it's not just planning for that bullpen either. It's you're planning for like a week and a month. And yes, they're going to change a little bit, and you want to tailor them, each day. And you don't want it to be such a rigid plan that you can't roll with it. Like if there's a day where you're just really feeling good and you want to do more, right? Or if you want to add something else that you didn't originally say you were going to work on it. And vice versa. If there's a day where you just can't do, like your body is not cooperating or you're not able to focus, like just do something light, get something quality in, and call it a day, right? It's okay to deviate from the plan, but we want to have that plan, right? It directs us where we're going for the day, for the week, for the month, for for our topic today, the whole off season.
If you feel like you're someone, or you as a pitcher, or a pitcher would need help with kind of structuring this off season, we just came out with pitching plans that are on our website. So you guys can go check that out.
Personalized. Like yes. They are made specifically for you. We do a Zoom call. We look at video. We sit down and we chat with you to make sure that you're getting everything you want out of these plans. Like they're not just a template that you work off of. And then we're in contact throughout the month to make sure that that everything's going well, and we'll adjust the plan if we need to.
But it's very customized to your goals. and what you want to get out of the off season.
If you're interested in this, just shoot us an email or shoot us a DM. Like, we're happy to answer. We're on here all the time. You can go to our website, you can check it out. But our goal is to do everything we can to help the next generation of pitchers. And so if that is by you watching our videos or by us writing a pitching plan for you or coming to one of our clinics, like, we are here to help because we have the experience and the expertise, and we have so many knowledge from so many amazing coaches that we've been lucky enough to work with over our lives. We want to share that with as many people as possible.
Couldn't have said it better myself. We both played at a very high level and know what that off season grind is like. And
honestly, the off season was like my favorite time of year. That's where I got to like experiment with things. Like, okay, so I really like this pitch, but like, what if I do this? Like, oh, this pitch sucks. It is. It's really fun. You don't have to worry about being in game shape and like where the ball goes or anything like that. You really get to like push yourself and experiment and try new things. And like my pitching coach growing up, one of the things that he told us all the time was creativity breeds genius. And so like it was like, ingrained in me from a really young age to just like come up with new things and try it because you never know what's going to work. And everybody's a little bit different.
Don't be afraid to try new things. Sometimes, pitchers, they don't want to try a new thing because they're like, if they do it for one pitch, all their mechanics are going to get messed up.
Oh my God,
like,
I know.
No, it completely messed me up. I promise you that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Just try new things, and it might even work out better for you. So play around with things, and the off season.
And when you try something new, you have to give it like 10 to 15 pitches. Because the first 3 are just going to be so awkward and foreign to you that you're never going to have like an unbiased view of it because it just feels so weird. So you have to give any change, anything you're trying, you have to give it a fair chance.
If it feels bad, like, okay, maybe not. If it feels weird and different, okay, it's going to feel weird and different because it's not something you're used to doing.
Weird is not bad.
No, it's not. Weird is good.
Or perfect. Now that the off season is here, make sure that you're spending a good amount of time reflecting on the fall, figuring out where you want to go, coming up with SMART goals, and then coming up with a plan. Whether you come up with a plan by yourself, with us, or with another coach, have a plan.
And last thing, like one more thing, when it comes to goal setting, so after you set this set of goals where maybe you end right before you take your break, you set goals after that too, right? So right now we're just focusing on the off season, but when after you're done taking your break, which everyone needs to take, by the way, everyone should be taking a break. It's not like you just, okay, no more goals. Like you're continuously setting goals for yourself so that you're pitching again with a purpose and you know what you're working on. You're not just throwing for what? What's the point if you don't have a goal? Always setting goals.
Every season.
Bye.